Hello students, today we're learning how to become a reporter, or in other words, how to give information without making it look as a general truth that has to be accepted, or as the ultimate truth that has to be accepted, but rather hinting at the fact that we've heard it somewhere, we've read it somewhere, but it's not 100% sure in any case. Okay, the first way we're going to talk about are the verbs seem and appear, with which I'm sure you're fairly familiar. Alright, so take this statement for example. It seems or it appears that the less children sleep, the more likely they are to behave badly. Me, myself, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a parent myself, so I can't say or can't state something as serious as the less children sleep, the more likely they are to behave badly, because I honestly don't know. I have heard it, I have read it somewhere, and if I want to share that information without sounding very sure, I can use the verbs seem and appear to distance myself from that information, telling my listener that I definitely don't know whether it is 100% sure or not. We can use the verbs seem and appear with the auxiliary would followed by a that clause. Okay, imagine the following situation. You go to a gym and someone tells you that someone else has been stealing personal items from the changing rooms. Now, you don't know who this person is or what items they've stolen, but you want to share that information with a colleague that goes to the same gym as you. You could say something as, it seems that someone's been stealing personal items from the changing rooms, and that making perfectly clear that you are not sure about that information or where that came from. By adding would, as in it would seem that someone's been stealing personal items from the changing rooms, the distance is widened. You're positioning yourself even further, maybe hinting at that you're not even sure that the source that told you is very reliable, but you also being a little bit more formal. So the use of would seem and appear could be, let's say, restricted to more formal environments, for example in written language. Another way of distance yourselves is by reporting the information that you have heard, right? So let's revise the basics. Okay, reporting verbs. Remember reporting verbs? So you take a statement like, I'm sorry I disappointed you, she said, and you're telling someone else that information. So what you do is changing the subject, changing the tenses. Okay, so I am sorry I disappointed you, stated by she, becomes she said she was sorry she had disappointed me. Mind the changes in subject, in tenses, okay, etc. Why are you so mad? She asked. She asked why I was so mad. In questions, remember that the word order is reversed and the subject precedes one more time the verb. But I'm sure you know this. This is basic grammar for advanced students. Okay, just a brief reminder. Instead of say and tell, there are plenty of reporting verbs that we can use that have more meaning and express a function, express an intention. They say much more than say or tell, which is, let's say, aseptic reporting. It has no life, it has no spice in it. Okay, take this statement for example. I made a mistake, I'm sorry. What's the speaker doing? They are apologizing for something, okay? So instead of saying she said she was sorry, which is quite, well, it's regular, normal, we can say she apologized. By apologizing, we are including this information already, okay? Another example. Can you move my desk close to the window? He asked. What is he doing? He's suggesting or requesting. So he could say he asked if he could move the desk close to the window. We could say he suggested that I moved his desk close to the window. We could also use another reporting verb in this case. He requested that I moved his desk close to the window. It's not always black and white. there are more functions, there are many functions in one statement, but they usually correspond. Okay. Oh, just another brief reminder. Reporting verbs have patterns. Patterns means that some of these verbs are followed by a to infinitive form, some others are followed by ing form, some others are followed by a that clause, and many can fall into the three categories. Let's revise this briefly. Okay, so we have these, I'm going to show you, are the most common verbs followed by the to infinitive. Okay? You can stop the video now if you want to copy them down. These here are verbs followed by ing, the most common ones. There's a very long list. I'll remind you that any preposition is followed by a verb in ing. So these are reporting verbs that are also followed by a preposition. We have argue, protest, advise and warn against something, apologize, blame, forgive, tell of and thank for something, speak or accuse of, insist or congratulate on, and admit to, confess to and object to plus ing. Admit to doing, confess to doing and object to doing. You can also stop the video here to copy this information down. And last but not least, here are verbs that can also be followed by a that clause. Mind you that we have the that between brackets because we can omit it in spoken language, and the should can also be omitted. The should is a little bit more formal and it hints at a subjunctive form. Remember that English doesn't have a subjunctive per se, but we can use should as the subjunctive. Okay. Okay. First structure is using a subject plus the passive reporting verb, the reporting verb in their passive form, followed by to plus infinitive. Verbs commonly used in this pattern are the ones that you can see on the screen. An example, my Miss and Mr. Right is thought to be hitting it off with the Mrs. Wrong. Okay, so my Miss and Mr. Right as the subject, is thought is the reporting verb think in the passive form, followed by to infinitive. So you can say they are believed, they are reported, they are thought to, they expected to, they are said to, they understood to. There are many more verbs, but these are the basics. Okay, the second structure is a structure with the subject it plus the reporting verb in the passive form, followed by a that clause. As in, for example, it has been announced that Judge Smith's death was not an accident. We have the subject it, the reporting verb announce in its passive form in this, and conjugated in this case in the present perfect, and the that clause. Okay, verbs commonly used in this pattern are agree, announce, believe, expect, hope, report, say, suggest, think, and understand. There are many more, I insist, but these are the basics. Now, mind you that some of the verbs in this list also appeared in the previous list. Okay, focused on say or think. Here we go. Here is say, here is think. We don't have agree, however. So be careful. Agree can only be used with the structure it. It has been agreed that. You cannot say they have been agreed to. Okay? Finally, other ways of distancing. We have 3 examples here. Apparently, Maurice and Yvette have separated. Apparently, as you know, is an adverb. We can use it, usually the beginning or the end of the phrase, to mean that we have heard or read something, but it might not be true. Okay, this is very common in informal conversation. People use it all the time. Take a look at the second example. According to new research, drinking beer is more beneficial than drinking water. Well, using according, we can specify where the information comes from. Okay, so we're telling, look, I got this from this person, or from this article, from this essay. It's not me doing. If you want some questions to be answered, just refer back to these people. I have nothing to do with it. Okay, and last but not least, we have the modal verbs, may or might, which also suggests this could be a possibility, but not necessarily true. So the boss may be asked to make more stuff redundant by someone else, but this could be true or not. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I'll remind you that this video is based on a presentation you have available on my blog, and if you want to download the materials, the questionnaire with the comprehension questions for the video, you will have to go there and download it. Also, if you're part of Facebook, you'll find it upload all the materials upload there. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video, hope you understand, and I hope you get ready to become our reporter in our next lesson. Thanks for watching.